Pain isn't punishment. It's the price of greatness. Darkness. There will be moments in your life when everything hurts. Your body hurts. Your mind hurts. Your heart hurts. And you start asking yourself, how much longer can I keep going? Maybe you're tired of trying. Tired of failing. Tired of watching other people move forward while you feel like you're standing still. You look at your life and wonder, why is everything so hard for me? But listen to me. What if the pain isn't proof that you're losing? What if it's proof that you're becoming someone stronger? Because pain isn't always punishment. Sometimes, pain is the price of greatness. The world doesn't owe you easy. Nobody promised you an easy life. Nobody promised you that your dreams would come without sacrifice. Nobody promised you that the road to success would be comfortable. And that's the part nobody wants to hear. Everybody wants the victory. Nobody wants the struggle. Everybody wants the transformation. Nobody wants the pain that creates it. But you don't get stronger by wishing for strength. You don't build discipline by waiting for motivation. You don't become unstoppable by living comfortably. Strength is built when you keep moving. When everything inside you is telling you to stop. That's where the real transformation begins. Not when life is easy. Not when everything goes according to plan. But when you're exhausted. When you're disappointed. When nobody is watching. And you still decide, I'm not quitting. Pain is a teacher. Pain teaches you what comfort never could. Failure teaches you what success can't. Rejection teaches you how to stand alone. Loss teaches you what truly matters. And struggle. Struggle introduces you to a version of yourself you never knew existed. Think about the strongest people you admire. They didn't become strong because life was gentle with them. They became strong because life tested them. They were knocked down. They were betrayed. They were rejected. They failed. They lost. They cried. They questioned themselves. But somewhere in the middle of the storm, they made a decision. They would not let their suffering be wasted. And that's the decision you need to make. You can't always choose what happens to you. But you can choose what happens inside you because of it. Stop running from the fire. Stop running from every difficult thing. Stop asking for the road to become easier. Start asking yourself, how can I become stronger? Because every time you run from discomfort, you teach yourself that discomfort is dangerous. But every time you face it, you prove to yourself that you can survive it. Wake up early when you don't feel like it. Train when you're tired. Study when you're distracted. Work when nobody believes in you. Keep building when nobody notices. Keep going when the results aren't coming. That's how you build yourself. One difficult decision at a time. One painful repetition at a time. One early morning. One late night. One failure. One comeback. One more step. And eventually, you look back and realize the person who once begged for the pain to stop became the person who could walk through the fire. The moment you want to quit, there is always a moment. The moment when your mind says, enough. The moment when you want to walk away. The moment when you want to go back to the old version of yourself. And sometimes, that moment comes right before the breakthrough. Not because success magically appears after suffering, but because that's the moment you're forced to decide who you really are. Are you only committed when it's easy? Or are you committed when it's hard? Are you disciplined only when you're motivated? Or can you act when motivation disappears? Can you keep going when nobody is cheering? Can you continue when the results are invisible? That's the difference. Because anybody can run when the road is smooth. But greatness is revealed when the road gets steep. So when you reach that moment, don't immediately quit. Pause. Breathe. Look at how far you've come. And tell yourself, one more day, one more workout, one more attempt, one more application, one more page, one more hour, one more step. You don't have to conquer your entire life today. You just have to refuse to surrender today. Your suffering has a purpose. Maybe you're struggling right now. Maybe you're rebuilding your life. Maybe you're starting over. Maybe nobody sees how hard you're fighting. Maybe you smile around people. Then go home and fight battles nobody knows about. Listen carefully. Your struggle does not make you weak. The fact that you're still here, still trying, still dreaming, still fighting, means something. Don't be ashamed of the season you're in. You may not be where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be. And that's progress. Your suffering can become your story. Your failure can become your lesson. Your rejection can become your redirection. Your darkest season can become the foundation for the strongest version of you. But you have to stop asking, why me? And start asking, what can this teach me? Become the person who can handle it. Don't pray for a life without challenges. Build the strength to handle challenges. Because the goal isn't to create a life where nothing goes wrong. The goal is to become the kind of person who can handle it when things go wrong. When the money disappears, you adapt. When the opportunity disappears, you create another one. When someone leaves, you keep moving. When you fail, you learn. When you fall, you get back up. When the world says no, you find another door. That's resilience. That's character. That's power. And the more difficult moments you survive, the more evidence you collect that you are capable of surviving difficult moments. Every scar says, I made it through. Every failure says, I learned. Every setback says, I'm still here. And every comeback says, you couldn't finish me. Don't waste the pain. So don't waste your pain. Don't let your suffering turn you bitter. Turn it into discipline. Don't let rejection destroy your confidence. Turn it into determination. Don't let failure define you. Turn it into experience. Don't let loneliness convince you that you're forgotten. Use the silence to build. Use the struggle to sharpen yourself. Use the darkness to discover your own light. Because one day, you may look back at this chapter and realize, this was the chapter that changed everything. The chapter where you stopped making excuses. The chapter where you stopped waiting for someone to save you. The chapter where you finally took responsibility for your future. The chapter where you decided, my circumstances may be difficult, but they will not decide who I become. The final fight. So if you're hurting right now, keep going. If you're tired, rest if you need to. But don't surrender. If you failed, learn from it. Then get back up. If they rejected you, let them. Their rejection does not determine your worth. If nobody believes in your dream, believe in it yourself. Because sometimes, the first person who has to believe in your future is you. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the next step. And then another. And another. Until one day, you realize you've climbed higher than you ever imagined. Remember this. The fire you're walking through is not necessarily there to destroy you. It may be shaping you. The pressure you're feeling may be building your strength. The struggle you're facing may be preparing you for the responsibility of the future you've been asking for. So embrace the struggle. Embrace the discipline. Embrace the uncomfortable mornings. Embrace the lonely nights. Embrace the failures. Embrace the setbacks. Not because suffering is beautiful, but because you refuse to let suffering be meaningless. You are not finished. You are being forged. And when the world finally sees what you've become, they may call it talent. They may call it luck. They may call it success. But you'll know the truth. You paid for it. With discipline. With sacrifice. With failure. With tears. With pain. With every moment you wanted to quit, but didn't. So stand up. Wipe the dust off. Take a breath. And walk back into the fire. Because pain isn't punishment. Pain is the price of greatness. And your story isn't over yet. Embrace the suffering.